everybody. Today is a very rainy, very cold, dreary Sunday, and I thought I would share my go-to makeup look for weekends. It is a no makeup look. I've been using for a couple of weekends now, and I am really enjoying it. It's literally got, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 products in it, and to be honest, you could cut some of these out very easily. But to start with, I'm washed my face and I put some moisturizer on. My next step is primer. So the current one that I'm using is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I wouldn't say that this is my favourite one. I think I was really excited to try it because everyone said it's tacky and it helps my makeup sit better. To be honest, I think I like the ones that make my skin feel smooth and is sort of pore reducing better than this. I like the NYX Marshmallow Primer. That's been my favourite one this year. But nevertheless, I do like this one as well. It's just different to what I'm used to. So I just put a little bit in my hand and then try and get it on my face as quickly as possible because it does dry or get tacky really quick. Like that's it. It won't budge anymore. And if I touch my face, I can hear it. It is sticky. And that's what it's supposed to do. So that's absolutely fine. And then I have to let that sit for a little bit. So while I do that, I'm going to talk to you about the next one that I use. So this is one of the steps you could definitely cut out. So it is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. It's been everywhere. I absolutely love this stuff. To be honest, I've just worn this multiple times, no foundation, no nothing. But all I do is put a couple of little dots on my face and blend it in with my foundation brush. I've got a mirror here. I'm not wearing any glasses, so I may have to move closer to my face. But I really like how effective this is. It actually makes me feel a lot more confident and a lot more willing to go out, even sort of this time of year. In the summer, I've mentioned before, I don't mind going out with no foundation on in the summer, but the winter I feel like it's a different story. You don't have sort of the sun that can cover up lots of different things. I'm pale and yeah, it's just not as good. But this, like, I put some concealer on, do some mascara, and I feel like I could conquer the world. I'm looking down at my stuff now. I've realised I forgot my mascara, so I'm gonna go get that in a minute. But let's finish my face first. Okay, so now that that's on, the next thing I'm going to use is the Maybelline Superstay 30-Hour Foundation. So I got this a couple of weeks ago, and it has quickly become one of my go-to foundations. I've worn it every day to work, and to be honest, it does what it says on the tin, and I'm really enjoying it. The other thing that I really like about it is that it's in, I can't remember what shade I got it in, and it's not telling me also. So it's number 2, Naked Ivory, and it's actually the colour of my skin at the minute. As I mentioned, very pale. So I'm just going to dot this a couple of times to get this on my face. I am dealing with quite a lot of breakouts on my chin at the moment. They are healing, but there's some persistent ones that just refuse to leave my face. I will say with this one, I always feel like, sort of same with the primer, I have to get it on my face quite quickly because I think it does set. And I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, the What's New on My Makeup bag, that it almost changes within the first couple of minutes of you putting it on. It seems like it's going to be really thin and not cover anything, and then suddenly everything you wanted covered is gone, which I really was very surprised about, but I'm really liking, because it means I don't have to put as much on as you don't have to put on as much as you think you do, which obviously makes the product last longer. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't budge. I think the more you put on, the more likely it is for your skin underneath to get greasy and oily quicker. At least that's how I feel. So I'm really enjoying this. And to be honest, you can't really tell. I've got one by your lips. I always find the ones by my lips are the hardest to try and cover, just because they get really red. But I could quite happily go out like this. Like, I'm gonna put some concealer on, but I don't need to if I don't want to. So I really like this foundation. It has become one of my favourites very quickly. I'm sorry about the lighting in here. As I mentioned, it's very dark, and this is the only place in my house at the minute that I can sit and actually talk with you guys other than sitting on the floor, which is where I do most of my videos. So I thought I'd sort of change it up, but it does mean that we don't have the best lighting in the world. But oh well, this is Facing Perfect. It's all about being real and not perfect, so this is what you get. The next thing I'm going to go with is the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer. This one I actually bought while I was in LA with my sister. So I just pop a little bit there and then on some of the spots. Again, this is a step if you wanted it to be very, very quick that you could cut out. So I'm just going to pat that in, and then I use my finger to put in my concealer around my eyes. Get itchy nose. Whenever I put foundation on, I get an itch on my nose. So once I've patted it in, I'll then go and gently rub in the rest of it. Okay, so that's done, and then I'm just gonna round the side of it, so not directly under my eyes, just make sure it's blended in all the way. So before I go to work, or on days that I'm going to work, I will then powder my face. It's a weekend, this foundation does set, I'm not going to bother to do that today. So I'm going to go on with my next step, which this is something that has cut out a lot from my no makeup look, or just my general weekend looks. And it's the Hydra Bright Cream Blush by Revolution Pro. When I wear it, I don't feel the need to put on bronzer or highlighter, so it's sort of my one step. It doesn't replace the bronzer, any stretch of the imagination, but I just feel like it does such a good job of just adding a little bit extra that I don't need it. So all I do is turn it on, got a little brush or pad, and tap some of it in sort of that direction, so it looks like that. Some on my nose, and then the same on the other side, so it looks like that. And then I'm just going to pat it in a circular motion, going all the way up. Same with my nose, the other side, and it is just one of the prettiest blushes. I'm gonna pop a little bit more. One thing I have noticed that with the cream blush, I don't like using powder highlighters. As I mentioned, I'm not going to use a highlighter today because it is such a reflective one, and when I've finished I will go over to the window and actually show you what it looks like. But it is super reflective and illuminating all by itself. You can kind of see it a little bit there, so I don't feel like I need that. But when I am wearing highlighter, I have to use a liquid one with it. I just feel weird putting a powder highlighter over on sort of a creamy liquid blush. It just doesn't quite sit right with me. But anyway, so that is my face done. I'm not going to do anything else with my face. All I'm going to focus on is my eyes and my eyebrows. So for my eyebrows, I use the e.l.f. Instant Lift Eyebrow Pencil. I mentioned this again in my What's New in My Makeup Bag video. I ran out of my Wet n Wild one, which I've been in love with, and realised quite how unpigmented it was. I don't worry too much about my eyebrows. I just try and fill them in a little bit and extend one of them because I am missing a tail. But I really don't worry too much about my eyebrows. I tend to just leave them as they are. Occasionally I will pluck them and shape them or whatever, but it's very rare. So the next thing I've got is my NARS palette in Suede. I have absolutely loved this thing since I bought it. I have hit pan on this very pretty colour here. But it is my go-to. I wear this most days to work at the moment, and all I'm going to do for this one is literally dip my brush in this one and this pink one and put it all over my eyelid just to give it a little bit of something. Very quick, but I always feel a bit weird without having eyeshadow on now if I have makeup on the rest of my face. Obviously don't need to, but that's what I do. And then the last thing I do with my eyes, other than mascara, which I have to go get, is use this brown colour and tightline and underline my eyes. I have definitely transitioned more to using eyeshadows to do this rather than actual eyeliner pencils, which I used for a really long time, because I realised that they stay a lot better. Putting eyeliner pencils never really worked. I always ended up with it all the way around my eyes, and I definitely find that eyeshadows, particularly more expensive brand eyeshadows, so like this NARS one, stay really well all day. Like it will still be there when I get home from work. But that's it. That's all I do with my eyes. I'm just going to run and get some of my mascara, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So the mascara that I'm using at the moment is the Rimmel Thrill Seeker mascara. I did a first impressions video for you guys a couple of months ago. I'm still really loving this. So I'm going to do, again, because I'm really blind, I'm going to have to pick this up and put it on. I've used 3 new mascaras this year. I've used the Maybelline Sky High one, I think it's Maybelline the Colossal, and this one, and to be honest, they're all very good, but this one I just feel like gives me the volume that I want without having to use the others. I've mentioned before that when I use the other two, I tend to use them together because I like the effect that way. I couldn't just use one of them, particularly with the Maybelline Sky High. It lengthens but doesn't give me volume, and I like the volume and the length. So the Colossal one does better, but I still feel like it works better if I use them both together. This one, however, I tend to just use by itself. But I've always sort of mixed mascaras, I don't know why. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, I just feel like it does. Anyway, that is my mascara done, and the very last thing I'm going to put on is the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee, just to give me a little something on my lips. And that is it. That is my no makeup look. Easy weekends. I am the type of person who likes to get up, get ready, put some makeup on, even if I'm not going anywhere. It makes me feel better, it gets me ready for the day. And yeah, this is my go-to look at the minute. I'm going to go to the window and show you guys what it actually looks like in some better lighting. But I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, comment down below, and subscribe if you would like to, because I would love to have you here. But other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.